Hello everybody, my name is Jalise. Welcome everybody to my Vikings Season 6, Episode 19, The Lord Giveth. What happens in this episode? Well, Ube and his company are meeting with the natives. They understand they go on a first name basis, like Ube, Torvi, and they'll say each other's names and all that stuff. And the thing is though, with this, they start to bond with the natives, whether it's by their different cultures, like Ube bonds with the warriors because Ube draws an axe and the other guy draws bows. And then they really just like exchange like some culture thing because they know how Torvi braids her hair. Then they know this little things like that with the kids. Then also, like, it's just a whole nice development of the it's a nice development of people just learning from one another about different cultures, and in such a simple way. It's extremely difficult for them to understand. But Udes start to notice that one of the women actually is able to speak certain tongues of their language, of Ube's language, the Viking language, and he asks how. In the most simplest way, he tries to make it as simple as possible, and he gets his Crazy Man. He's like, "Where is Crazy Man?" So we all know where Crazy Man's gonna lead to. But before we get more into Ube, let's start off with another story. Ingrid and the story finally ended. I know a lot of people were hating on this story and all this stuff. Here's the thing: this storyline lasted for 3 episodes. This is not bad. At the end, Ingrid gets a slave to kill Eric. And the slave that Eric went to go kill Ingrid, try to kill Ingrid for, dies. Ultimately, Ingrid frees that slave as well. So ultimately, Eric dies blind, alone, because he was having sex with the slave girl, and the slave girl killed him at the end. And Ingrid is now the permanent queen of Connecticut, while pregnant. Also, during this time, Ivar and Alfred has begun their battle. Ivar has used booby traps in the woods, and every single time, first off, at the beginning, Alfred sends up, the first line advance, and they get stuck in booby traps. During this time, King Harold and Ivar's forces, they move back into the forest, into the fog, and Alfred's like, okay, second wave, go help the people who are in the first wave who are trapped. And during that time, Ivar uses those tactics because he says Alfred will care more about his warriors. They're Christians, they care about the warriors. Ivar does not give a shit about that. These are freaking war crimes which Ivar is using against Alfred about the people who are injured. They should be brought back to the front. No, brought to the back and not in the front no more. But no, Ivar uses his advantages to take upon attack the people who are weak right now. Attack them when they're down. He has Witzig set up in a hideout with other Vikings, and they come out of the trees, they come out of the bushes, and they start attacking Alfred's forces. It's just a straight-on battle. There's no, it's just going forward and backwards. There's no strategic stuff. There's strategic elements to this battle. Ivar has his archers up in the high of the woods. They built not like towers, but bridges and all this stuff, so now they could pick apart Alfred's forces, and Alfred's starting to go into battle. During this time, Ivar gets some of his men dressed up like Englishmen to attack Alfred's family, to nearly kidnap Ellsworth and almost kill, was probably going to kill Alfred's child. Alfred's fighting, and during this battle, Alfred sees Jesus Christ himself, and he refuses to retreat. He refuses to surrender, so he keeps on going to the battle. They momentarily retreat for a bit, but then they're going back. Where it's like, no, we're going to go back in, and we're going to fight them. And all his officers are dumbfounded, but they're going to go for it. King Harold at this time, he's looking for enemies during the fog, can't find them, and he's killed by an Englishman. And during this time, King Harold dies, but he sees Halfdan, his brother, saying the Allfather is waiting for us. At the end, after King Harold kills the officer, he dies singing a song that him and Halfdan are just singing a song. And it's amazing to have the actor that played Halfdan come back. And I think this was a fitting end to King Harold. A lot of people think, oh, well, King Harold didn't get a good storyline and all that stuff. But King Harold is a man who got what he wanted. He became the king of all Norway, and he realized he doesn't want it. He doesn't have no woman in his life. He ain't going to really have a child in his life. He doesn't have nothing. All the stuff that he had at the end, his brother, who he killed for to have the crown, ultimately led to nothing. And ultimately, he wants Valhalla. He's done with this life. And it's set up beautifully in the upcoming episodes. So King Harold dying made sense, and him dying the way he did was a perfect way, and to see his brother at the end was a perfect way. So to me, this episode, very good with King Harold, and it was a good send-off to his character. I like King Harold as a character, I really do. Next character, the next and final thing is when Ube goes to see the Crazy Man. When they're going on to the crazy man during each to the house of the crazy man. Each tree has a symbol on it. It's etching of carvings of what happened. You see either Ragnar or Bjorn fighting against a bear, so it's the tail. And you have one word Ragnar in a pit of snakes, and also so it's the tale of Vikings. Is the tale of Ragnar. And during this house, Floki just descends, and then Ube says hello, Floki, and Floki does his hilarious laugh and everything. And we're reunited with Floki at the end. So this was a very good episode. The Lord Giveth was a very good episode. And I think I have to put this in my top 3 episodes of the season. But overall, this was a very good episode of Vikings. A very good episode. It showed Alfred's hard commitment with his army. It showed Ivar with his strategic mind. It gave Harold a good death. It showed Ube bonding with the new people of this new world, the Native Americans. And we're reunited with Floki at the end. So to me, this entire... And they're still setting up for the final episode. So to me, this episode was a very good episode. So season 6, episode 19, Lord Giveth. What'd y'all think, everyone? Did you think it was a bad story? Did you think it was a good episode of Vikings? What'd y'all think, everybody? Are you glad the Ingrid storyline's gone? Yes, I'm pretty sure you're all glad about it. But to me, Lord Giveth, good episode. It was a great episode. So Lord Giveth, what'd y'all think, everyone? Angel Lee, everybody. Bye.